Hello everyone, today I'm going to be reacting to the deluxe tracks off of Janet Jackson's The Velvet Rope album that was just released. And quick disclaimer, I've already heard the first two songs, but I've only heard them like a time or two, so I will re-listen to them again just to remember what they sound like and everything. So if you want to skip past those and go to the other songs, I'll have a timestamp on the screen right here to where you guys can go to, and the whole video will be timestamped if you would like to skip around. And now on to a couple quick disclaimers. Number one, this is just my personal opinion and interpretation of these songs. I'd love to hear yours down below, just keep respectful please. Sorry for any background noise or dust particles that may occur throughout this video. I'm going to be stopping and giving my thoughts as I go along. I'm also going to have to cut out a lot of each song due to copyright. If you see me looking down at my phone, that's just because of how the lyrics put up for each song. Lastly, if I have any notes I forget to add, check down below. I might have a pinned comment. And let's get into it. The first song is going to be Accept Me. Okay, so my thoughts on this song. I really enjoyed listening to it. Like I said, I've only heard this song like a time or two, and so I completely forgot what it sounded like, but I'm glad that I got to listen to it once again. I really enjoyed the production. Janet's vocals were nice to listen to as well. I like the lyrics of the song. The bridge on the song is exquisite. I can appreciate that as well. Nice track. Next up, we have God's Stepchild. Okay, so my thoughts on this song. Again, great to listen to this one again because I probably listened to it once or twice like a bit ago, so completely forgot what this one sounded like as well. But I thought that it was an interesting listen overall. I thought that the chord progression was cool. I like how the song progressed. Janet's vocals were pretty to listen to, and I like the lyrics as well. Next up, we have I Get Lonely TNT Remix Edit with Teddy Riley and Blackstreet. Yeah. Okay, so my thoughts on this, very interesting to listen to overall in terms of how they switched it up from the original in terms of like the production and all of that. I think that Blackstreet did their thing and they sounded great, so definitely shout out to them, and just shout out to everyone on the song because it was something that was like fascinating to listen to in terms of that. These days remixes aren't the same. It's like you have the song and then you throw someone else's verse in that and then you just call it a day. But back then they used to completely change the entire vibe of the song, the instrumentation, even the vocal delivery, and so I really appreciate that, and that's like kind of my thoughts there. I really appreciate how this all came together. Next up, we have Got Till It's Gone, Ummah JD's Revenge Mix. Okay, so my thoughts on this. It was cool to listen to. What I can appreciate about this mix is I think that Janet's vocals stand out a little bit more. Like, I think that they're a little bit clearer. Like, I can definitely hear them a little bit better. At least that's how I'm feeling listening to this. And just something a little bit different, but I think that it suits the song super well. Next up, we have Go Deep, Timbaland, Missy remix. Okay, so my thoughts on that. I loved listening to it. Timbaland and Missy Elliott did their thing here. I can always really appreciate whenever they work together. And I like Missy's little feature on the song. I thought that that was interesting to listen to there. And this production just added something different but equally interesting to the song. And so I can really appreciate that. So I just really like everything on here overall. Next up, we have Together Again, Deeper remix.
I miss you so much. Guess I have to look deeper. There are times when I look beyond, when I feel that I don't belong, deeper inside your bed. Dream about us together again. All I know we'll be together again. When I see you smiling back at me, I can see. Go deeper.
Okay, so my thoughts on that. Refreshing to listen to in a sense because I really like how she redid her vocals on this one and just the approach to it overall. I really like the production as well. Again, a completely different vibe from the original, and I really enjoy the original song, of course. I just appreciate how this one is more stripped back and just what was added to it, and I think that it's a really enjoyable listen. Next up, we have Every Time Jam and Lewis Disco Remix. Okay, so my thoughts on this song. I can appreciate it for what it is. It was interesting to hear the additional production from Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Next up is I Get Lonely, Jam and Lewis Feel My Bass mix. Okay, so my thoughts on that. An entertaining listen overall. I can appreciate the changes made with the production there. Next up, we have Got Till It's Gone, Def Club Mix. Okay, so my thoughts on the song. I noticed that like remixes in this vein that have like this kind of style, basically like these 10-minute remixes where most of it's kind of just like repeating the song like multiple times or like whatever. I noticed that those aren't for me particularly to listen to. Like they're just kind of there to me. Like I'll listen to it one time and I'm like, oh yeah, it's that kind of remix, and then I just never listen to it again. That's like my honest thoughts there. I can appreciate the effort that was put in terms of the production, of course, but this style is just not for me. Next up, we have Together Again, Tony Moran 12-inch club mix. Okay, so my thoughts on that. I could definitely appreciate it for what it is. I liked it overall, and it's so interesting because I'm basically contradicting myself based on what I just said about the song before this and its length and whatever. And could this one be a little bit shorter? Yeah. But overall, I just thought it was a little bit more interesting to listen to, a little bit more dynamic, very ambitious in terms of the production, which I liked. Definitely shout out to the background singers. I feel like they add something to there. So it's gonna be like my overall thoughts on this. I don't think I'm gonna be going to this one like heavily in the future. I'll probably skip it sometimes listening to it, but I like it. Next up is Go Deep Masters at Work Thunder Mix. Okay, so my thoughts on this. Another one that's not particularly for me. I can appreciate the production. I really like the instrumentation throughout, I will say. Next up, we have Together Again, Tony Humphries, Club Mix Edit. Okay, so my thoughts on the song. It could be an entertaining listen. I feel like if this song was like 5 to 7 minutes, I think that would be like the sweet spot of it for me. So generally, I can appreciate this thing. I really liked at the beginning how it was like the piano and everything, and I could appreciate how interesting it was musically to listen to there, but it runs on a little bit too long for me. Next up is going to be I Get Lonely, Janet versus Jason, the club remix. Okay, so my thoughts on this basically just recycle what I've said about most of the club remixes so far, though I could appreciate the production at points. Next up is going to be Go Deep, Masters at Work, Vocal Deep Disco Dub. Okay, so my thoughts on this one. Again, some interesting production elements, but it's just not really my style. And now on to the last song, Got Till It's Gone, Armand, Helden, bonus beats.
Do you feel that?
Okay, so my thoughts on this one. This was just not my particular cup of tea. And now I wanted to share my favorite bonus tracks with you. So I'm going to say Accept Me, God's Stepchild, Go Deep, Timbaland, Missy remix, and then also Together Again, Jimmy Jam, Deeper remix. Those are the ones that I remember enjoying the most. Of course, as I listen more, my opinions can change. And now I wanted to share my overall thoughts on the deluxe tracks. So I think that we had some great gems in there, like the ones that I was just discussing. I really think that there's something for everybody in here to appreciate and just really enjoy for years to come, of course. And so in the end, I'm just really thankful that Janet gave this to us, because when I tell you, I was expecting absolutely nothing for the anniversary of this album at all. I saw that some of her music videos were getting put on YouTube and higher quality and like whatever, and so I was like, oh, this is cool, but I didn't expect anything. And then I had like a mutual who was like, oh, I think she's gonna do something, and I didn't expect anything at all. So the fact that she put this out for us to listen to is really nice. She could have just given us Accept Me and God's Stepchild, and that would have been enough, but to have all these other songs is cool as well. Something else I appreciate is she separated Special and Can't Be Stopped, the hidden track, and I really do like Can't Be Stopped. I think I like Special a little bit more, so maybe this will lead me to like playing it a little bit more. I don't mind that they're connected. Maybe it's because of the transition. It feels like it's so slow going from the first song to the next song. I feel like it should be like a tighter transition in there, but I think it's kind of nice to have it separated, so maybe I will play Special a little bit more. Though, as I said, I tend to just listen to the entire album all the way through every single time that I listen to it. I feel like it's kind of one of those albums you have to do it on, so we will see if that changes in the future. That's something that I'm really happy that she did, because it was something that I was hoping for sure. But an album like The Velvet Rope, which has just stood the test of time and is so important and is her best album in my opinion and my favorite album from her, really deserves this kind of treatment, this kind of rollout, you know, for its anniversary. So I'm just really glad that we got something special for it, and by the time this video is out, it should be the anniversary of this album. So happy anniversary to The Velvet Rope. If you have not heard this album already, if it's been a bit since you listened to it, I would highly recommend listening to it, especially now that we have this new edition with all the bonus tracks at the end. I think everyone should give it a listen through at least once if you do like the original album, I will say there. But yeah, The Velvet Rope is just such an incredible body of work, and Janet's one of my favorite artists ever, so to be getting all this bonus content is something that I don't take for granted, and I'm extremely appreciative for, and just excited to go back and listen to this and appreciate the album more than I did in the past. I just really appreciate whenever musicians do special things for their album anniversaries and stuff like that. Mariah just gave us anniversary edition of Butterfly, which was really fun as well. That's kind of like my overall thoughts on these bonus tracks, and I would absolutely love to know what you guys are thinking down in the comments. Let me know your favorite track. Let's continue the discussion there. But that is going to be it for this video. If you would like to see more videos on Janet Jackson, I will have a card on the screen right here to where you guys can go to. And so, like, if you wanted to see my thoughts on the Velvet Rope album as a whole, for example, I did an entire video on that, and I talked about a couple of her other albums as well. So you can go check that out, and it'll also be at the end of this video and linked down below in the description. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, give it a like down below. It helps me out a lot in the YouTube algorithm. I very much appreciate it. You can subscribe right down below for more videos like this. If you hit the bell, you get a notification to your phone when I post so you not miss when new videos come out. First link down below in the description will be my latest second channel video, so check me out on there if you want to see more content. I'm also going to have Twitter, Instagram, and Spotify if you like to follow me, as well as a link to stream this new edition of the Velvet Rope, and lastly, links to educate you guys on important situations. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.